Hi there, Worldview 3 class. This is your teacher, Mr. Swirsky. I've got just this week's homework video for you for week 4. So let's start off by talking about the paper that's coming up that's going to be due in week 6. Okay, it's the Shifts in Literature paper. It starts on page 25 of your Worldview 3 syllabus. I do want you to basically follow the outline at the bottom, where it says the introduction, freed from the biblical worldview, 20th century worldviews, contrast these ideas against the biblical worldview, etc. So follow that outline. What I would encourage you to do is to use maybe a paragraph per each of those main points, so intro, 3 body, and 1 conclusion. But make sure that you develop each of those ideas based on the 3 books that you will have read by that point. Walden 2, The Plague, and The Old Man and the Sea. Okay, so you need to be referencing those. I'm going to want to see references from the books, including footnotes, and we'll talk more about how to do that in next week's lesson, or next week's video rather. But just know that that paper's coming and that you need to be preparing for it. There is no rough draft that you turn in, you only turn in the final draft. Okay, but then to this week's work. Make sure you read Economics, Chapter 2, as well as World History, Chapter 18. And then make sure that you read The Plague, Chapters 1 through 12. Again, that's The Plague by Albert Camus. And you need to do the corresponding book work, which begins on page 19. Now this will be similar to Walden 2 in that you're going to have to go back or go through it this week and next week. So you won't actually turn anything in for The Plague until you're all completely done with it. So what they do is they show you the different character names, and then you have to answer various things concerning their worldview. Out of the 3 books that we read at the beginning of this course, Old Man and the Sea, The Plague, and Walden 2, The Plague is probably the hardest to interpret because there are many worldviews represented. Whereas in The Old Man and the Sea, there's simply one worldview really, and in Walden 2 there were 2 or 3 worldviews. But you could really argue that each character that's listed here has a different worldview, although some are somewhat similar. So make sure you come prepared for that, and also remember that there will be a world history quiz, and it'll also have some economics questions at the end of this month in September. So I'll be posting a study guide for that next week. I believe that is it. Make sure that you also answer the questions on page 23 for Shifts in Literature, and that as you're going through these books, that you also go back and fill out the pages on page 4 to 5. Okay? Very important to do. Make sure you do it. Thank you guys so much.